I don't know if that's the new thing now. We're just gonna have this still image, the static image of the opening. But
that's a cool image, though. I like it.
It's from Brian Bell from his evil AI stuff. But hola amigos, and welcome to the Mark Out Mania.
Woo! Yeah. Woo!
I'm Pedro Boriquedro, Texan Spaniard, and with me we got the Extreme James Sordo, a.k.a. Jim House, on Real House Radio, Mixcloud
Live. Brutal. How are you?
How are you?
Boys, are you ready for this week's show? Lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff to get into. Lots of movie talk, too. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh,
I'm ready.
Movie talk.
Yeah, man.
I can't wait to see the promo that's going to go down from this man, the God of Thunder, Zeus King Dark. How are you?
I'm good. It's it's a nice day here. Feels like early spring in the South, but
please, it's 650 degrees here in Florida.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like close to 100 degrees right now here. It's only 10 in the morning in Texas. It's like I think the feels like temperature is like. Let me see what the feels like temperature is. What's the temperature over there, Zeus?
Oh, it's only like 70 or 60 something.
Jesus.
It's just smacky.
It's not. It's the feels like is 95 degrees right now.
Yeah, it's 66. It feels like 69, and some people, I've gotten some nice comments about the, doing the NBA on NBC, but it's just kind of I think it's just kind of played out, and I don't know if I can do it anymore, but I just go week to week and do what I can. Today on Markout Mania, Pedro Boy continues his domination of streaming platforms across the airwaves, sharing his music to an entire new audience.
I wish.
Jim House leads the incredible New York Knicks into the golf course because they are sitting at home. Indiana has been definitively lost, and anything that is the worst of all is not just New York failure, it's Boston success.
Yeah.
On today on Markout Mania on NBC. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, Rocky, the mountain lion from the Denver Nuggets, is taking on Hugo the Hornet from the Charlotte Hornets in a lumberjack death match with the rest of the NBA mascots surrounding the ring. And more on the Prudential halftime report.
That just made me want to put my head under my pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Nothing worse than New York failure except for Boston success in New York.
Yeah, exactly. You got that right. Hey, well, listen, man, this is not the Red Sox, so that's good.
Yeah. Can you imagine the Red Sox take the basketball the court? Dun, 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 dun. Cross sport battle.
Angie and I were texting all night last night because it was Dodgers Yankees.
Oh, how did that go down?
Who won?
The fucking Dodgers won in extra innings, 2-1.
Oh, damn! It's a low score.
It was a 0-0 game to the 10th inning. So,
God, they should play the sudden death.
But it was 0-0 to the 10th, and then the Dodgers went up 2-0, and then Yankees came back. It was 2-1, and then that was it. So it was a good game. Brutal.
Were y'all shit posting, messaging each other? Or?
No. We were like, this is good. This is good. This is good. This pitcher's doing good. Blah blah blah. It was like that. It wasn't anything bad.
I thought for a moment, I thought you said this bitch is doing good. I was like, whoa.
No. Damn, Pedro.
This bitch doing good.
Woo!
Right?
So what's going on? what's new?
Well, gee, let's see. Maybe
there was a very interesting Who Killed WCW, the first episode of Who Killed WCW.
Well, James, we already figured that out. We know. All right, so it wasn't Eric.
But Zeus is by The Rock.
No, wait. It wasn't Eric Bischoff. He said so, right?
Right.
It wasn't Hulk Hogan, obviously.
Oh, no.
Right? And then Kevin Nash. Oh, I'm not going to talk at all about the massive contracts that me and Scott Hall came in with to make us the second highest pay. Like, if you're getting paid more than us when you come in, our contracts get automatically bumped up to what you're making, so that we're always making the second most in the company behind Hogan. Because that's not a stress on a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously it wasn't, any of his fault with his, because, he's always in great health, and he's always super dependable, always able to be there for everybody. And, and it just, and it obviously wasn't the fault of that British idiot on there.
Who was that guy?
I don't know, but he's an idiot. And then I don't even know why he was on there, what he's offering up. I don't, it's like, I'm like, dude, you were like, in diapers at Nitro started. And of course, we're just going to start this entire thing, and we're going to spend about 5 minutes glossing over the entire first 6 years of Turner-owned WCW. We're just going to act like that. None of that happened, and all of it was crap. There's nothing happened any good from 89 to 95. Nothing happened good, so we're going to skip over that.
They didn't even talk about the Sting Championship. Nothing.
No Sting Vader. No Gordy Williams. No. I mean, they did get a little bit of early Harlem Heat in there. Like, I don't know how that would happen. But they didn't start playing a bigger part until later. But they certainly weren't. The reason that.
Eric Bischoff and his Ninja Stars. They were in there. But The Rock talking about how important, and what are you talking about? What does he have to do with this?
And what's his name? Siegel? Was it Brian Siegel?
Yeah, Brad Siegel.
Brad Siegel. Yeah. What a
that guy.
What a putz. He should have been running a reality show for trash guys in fucking in New Jersey or something, because I mean,
he was clueless.
All these guys are like everybody's just shitting on the South. They built up this following. I'm like, well, of course you don't want to cultivate that, because y'all are fucking idiots.
Here's what I don't understand, Zeus. Here's what I understand.
Well,
if the wrestling was Turner's number one rated show, why is everybody trying to get rid of it? Why were they trying to get rid of it? It was one of the highest rated shows Turner had at that time.
It was like their only original programming anymore. Everything else was reruns of other shows. It was Law and Order, SVU, CSI. I mean, it was, they didn't have any original programming. I mean, it was literally built on, the 80s Turner stuff. They had a few other things here and there, but it was all mostly reruns of movies, reruns of shows, But here's this, highly profitable thing that people were, flocking to advertise on. They even had, wrestling on, sometimes 3 times a day on Saturday.
Yeah.
But oh no, these guys can't wrap their head around it. Well, then you're working for the wrong company, man. If you don't get pro wrestling, quit. Go work for something else. I don't know how you got this job. You sound like a yutz, and if you don't get it, then why are you trying to shove a square peg in a round hole? You know, there are just so many stupid people that I had to listen to say a whole bunch of nothing for 45 minutes. I mean, there is like literally almost nothing, is 99% rehashed bullcrap that we've already heard before. Thanks for wasting nearly an hour of my life, Vice. But of course, that's pretty much all of your programming, because, you're either doing something that's useless, boring, and already done, or you're putting out hit pieces on people like Junkyard Dog, who didn't deserve that at all. So really, fuck off, Vice. I won't be watching any more of your crap.
It just got cloudy over in the skies. I feel thunder.
Yeah, they're in their shitty fucking old damn community college basement fucking recording studio or wherever the hell they are.
And just think, we got 3 more episodes of that shit.
Not watching it. Certainly not watching it on Vice. If it's pirated to YouTube, which it usually is, I'll watch it backwards and slightly, altered speed.
I was trying to figure it out. I'm like,
slightly altered speed.
Okay. I'm like, so what do you, and not for nothing though, what Bischoff was like fucking Hogan's bitch?
Because look, Eric Bischoff had to, and this, of course, this is speculation.
Yeah, rumor.
But how do you not negotiate these contracts for these dudes? Because we know he was the one approving them. How are you not one of the people getting kickbacks out of this?
Yeah.
How do you smile? How do you smile with that fucking smile of Bischoff's and go, yeah, we just gave Hogan the most lucrative deal you could possibly imagine, that's actually so full of ambiguities that he can actually pull, his legal team could pull profit away from the company for stuff he's not even on. Like, oh, well, I'm technically part of WCW, so I get part of, I get my 10% of everything WCW. Well, I'm in the NWO too, so I get everything as NWO, even a 6-pack shirt. I get a piece of that because it's a NWO shirt, and I'm part of NWO, brother. I mean, this dude, that contract is one of the greatest contracts written for a talent in anything ever. I mean, holy crap, that dude made hand over fist. Mm-hmm. And to know that, he's lost so much of it, actually brings me a little bit of comfort.
Oh, that's
damn.
Woo!
Wages of sin or death, Hogan. You ain't there yet, but we're all on our way there. But you are a little bit more broke than you used to be.
Oh man! For a moment, I thought he was going to say, "You're no good." I thought he was going to do
I mean, that's an established fact.
That what part pissed me off too? When him and when Bishop was talking about Hogan dropping the belt to Sting, and Hogan was like, he doesn't seem into it, so no, it's not going to happen. Cleanly, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that was also they screwed that up. Thanks, Nick Patrick. You showed.
Then they had to create a whole smog with Nick Patrick and Bret Hart. And
remember how terrible that Nick Patrick was in the NWO?
Yeah.
Oh God, I was so far above his fucking.
He was the
grade. And we can't forget The Rock's unbelievable insight into the shit that where he's running around Memphis as Flex Cavana when all this is going on.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's my point. I'm like, you weren't even in the midst of this shit. I'm like, hello.
WCW is an important and influential time in sports history. Shut the fuck up.
I can understand if you want to put out a program about the Attitude Era or something like that. Okay, fine. But he had no clue what was going on in none.
I mean,
zero.
Even if even if he's part of this, it still doesn't matter. Just shut the fuck up. You weren't in it.
No.
You know, I don't want to hear. You know, I don't want to hear Sting talk about the Attitude Era of WWF.
Right. Exactly.
You know, other than, I mean, what's he going to say? Well, you know, we were doing this at the time in WCW. You know, Sting's like, oh, well, this is another reason I didn't want to go there. Oh, this is another reason I didn't want to go. Oh, all this objectification of women. You know, I didn't want to. You know, I don't want to be a part of this. It was bad enough where I was. You know, holy shit.
And they had Conan on there, and I thought Conan was good. He just was like, this place sucks. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you know, he was left out of that other Rise and Fall, you know, video too. And that's another thing is like, so we're only talking about, you know, what it feels like is we're only talking about what a WWE executive approved, right? Because there's not one mention of Crockett.
No.
Right? Nothing built of, you know, talk of Crockett building and his dad building, you know, boxing and wrestling throughout the Carolinas for the better part of 50 years. And there's no, you know, there's no mention of ECW.
Oh,
you know,
that's right. Nothing.
That's a huge part of WCW and WWF too, because, you know, Todd Gordon, you know, started feeding guys to, you know, to WCW and WWE, and you know, and Conan was, you know, he was trying to help the other luchadors. He got luchadors into ECW and brought them with him to, you know, WCW.
Oh, but WCW, yeah, that's right.
And that's a huge part. Like, you want to talk about success. Like, yes, they had the big names and the big stories, but they had the mix of exciting matches that you didn't have to know a lot about, but you just showed up and it's like, oh wow, it's Ray and Hoovy and LaParca against LaParca and Psychosis, and it's a great match and it's a lot of fun and you're all excited, and then the next thing you know, you're listening to a promo from Randy Savage or whatever, and that works so well. I'm like, that you know, if you guys are all going to not admit that you were part of, you know, who killed WCW, you know, then at least, you know, talk about, you know, more about why it was successful. You know, I mean, didn't Kevin Nash on a Nitro say that, you know, they keep ECW around as a farm system or something, team?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, TV. I mean,
I'm just waiting to get. I want to see how they approach the whole thing with Jarrett and Russo, and you know, Hogan's creative control at the end, and because you know like a lot of people blame Bischoff. Fine, yeah, Bischoff blames that whole AOL merger. He was like, as soon as the Time Warner AOL merger happened, that's when WCW was doomed. I was like, okay, if you want to say that, fine.
Well, but the truth and part to that was that you had $1 billion corporation that didn't want to be in the wrestling business anymore. That's why WCW failed. If they had found another billionaire, which sadly the other billionaire they found was Vince McMahon, but if they'd had another big name, you know, or not even a big name, but just somebody with a network and had the money to keep it going, you could have kept it going, because Vince kept shit going in WWF in the early 90s when everything was falling apart. Yeah. They weren't making any fucking money, and they were losing money. I mean, it just, you have to have the system to carry it through, and by becoming, you know, the corporation himself, and then finding a network, you know, he also had the ability. Remember, they went to TNT for what, 2 years?
Yeah.
That was, you know, and oh boy, you remember how pissed off Paulie Heyman was about that? when they kicked off ECW off of TNT and brought in WWF Raw.
Oh yeah, CNN.
Yeah, TNN. Yeah. The Nashville network, the national network, whatever. But that's what you have to have. And right now, it's the same thing that AEW has. Is they got a billionaire and they've got connections with a network. So, but fuck Vice, man. They're just powder. Cow shit.
Zeus, I'm gonna get you a subscription to Vice, okay?
Yeah, you do that. Physical entity out of it, and I will fucking smash it in a hydraulic press.
I just don't understand. Okay, all right, Rock, you want to produce this shit? Fine. But why are you on camera talking about it when you weren't even a part of it? Why are you on camera? Why? I can see Booker T, I can see Conan, I can see DDP, I can see, but why are you on camera?
But nobody, they're not even pointing fingers.
No.
Like they're just, like everybody gets a turn to say why they weren't the one.
Right, exactly.
Like
exactly.
no. You should have the answer. Like this whole 4-part series should be, because nobody's taking any blame. They've not shown any blame. This has been the most useless fucking beginning to a mini series ever. And I have a feeling it's all going to be this filler bullshit. Oh, let's spend 5 minutes talking about Kevin Nash throwing a ray into the fucking side of a trailer. That's valuable. That's valuable. That helps explain. That helps explain who killed WCW.
Not for nothing, but is it me or the Nash looks shit-faced during that interview?
Oh, man. Like every other interview he does, he's like drinking a 3 gallons of wine.
He looks fucking shit-faced.
You watch any of those shoot interviews he's doing, he's got a fucking giant glass of wine in his hand.
He was like, no, Ray, I can't put you through the window. You die.
You guys want the real story, or do you want the bullshit?
Yeah.
We want the bullshit. That's why we paid you money to show up. Well, fuck, we wanted your bullshit. We fucking pulled off of YouTube.
Oh my god! I gotta watch it. I got just to see what's the whole point of this? Because this story's been beat up as many times as the ECW story has. Okay, it's like, okay, we already know the whole story. What are you showing us that we don't know?
I mean, I understand, James, because you still watch Raw and SmackDown and PLEs. That you like torturing yourself. So I understand that you want to continue watching this garbage.
I'm just curious to see what they're gonna do, because I'm like you. I'm like, what kind of bullshit they're gonna feed us? Because there's nothing that they can say that we don't know. I mean, unless somebody pops up from their grave and says it was me who killed WCW. I mean, Ted Turner himself pops up. I killed it. Then I don't. What can they say?
Yeah, I mean, because. Yeah, I mean, they're all. Everybody was such a bunch of jackasses. I mean, remember?
Man, I'm sorry, but I don't want to hear The Rock speak on this. I really don't.
But I mean, WCW ran off Flair. I mean, they fired him.
Like idiots.
He was tired of their bullshit. But not to mention, Flair lost more matches in the '90s than he probably won in the '80s. Yeah. I mean, he put so many people over. In what would technically his backyard. It's crazy to me. I mean, it just like they're like, oh, I'm fired. I know I'm fired, but I'm out here and I'm going to say my piece. that was a great promo.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
But there's literally so many stupid people. I think Conan probably said it best. Nobody knew what the hell they were doing.
Yeah, right.
And what probably Bret Hart said that too.
Yeah,
nobody knew what the hell they were doing. There's too many chiefs, too many like department heads and bullshit, and it was such a stupid, overly corporate thing, and it just and everybody had a fucking ego. Everybody's worried about fucking nerds on message boards saying what the fuck ever. It's just like this bullshit. Everybody thinks
it was all about I. And it should have been about we. But it was all I. It was all me.
James.
Are you talking about me, Ric Flair's belly?
Are we?
Pee-pee.
We talk. James, do you need to go to the restroom? Is my
And I mean, there were some things that happened in WCW that just by accident worked out that probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, but even the one. Okay. Let's take the biggest positive that the WCW had. Bill Goldberg. They had it. Everybody wanted to see him. They had people, screaming his name, and they fucked that up. Okay, they didn't know what they were doing, and they had something there, an actual building of a character, a building of a wrestler.
Yeah, but
homegrown wrestler at that.
Yeah, but a lot of people were getting sick of it, though.
Yeah,
I mean, even non NWO fans. I mean, people were.
So you do shitty booking? That's how you end it?
Oh no, that's not. Obviously not.
Yeah, the way they ended the streak was pretty bad, but I don't really know what the good solution was going to be for it.
Well, not a cattle prod.
Yeah, not a cattle.
That's
prod.
what I'm saying, and that was like so ridiculous.
But also, like, we all went to WCW shows in this time period, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know. I remember very distinctly at like the Nitro at the Astrodome that I went to.
Mm-hmm.
The Goldberg chants did not start organically like from the crowd. It was like coming out of the PA.
Yeah, it was piped in. Yeah.
Yeah, like then the people joined in, but like it was started like in the PA, like at that Nitro. I'm not saying for every show, but at that Nitro, you could hear them coming out of the speakers.
Yeah, that the Fall Brawl '98 when Jericho came out and called out Goldberg, and they sent out that little mini dude. Hey, what's up, Andre? How you doing, man?
I'm fine. Just want to pop in and say.
Well, he's talking with fans.
Zeus being famous again.
Oh yeah, we need to work in Zeus's NBA intro too. I need to grab like the actual audio of it the theme, and then have him just cut a promo like that we just mix into it, not without the music, just a promo, and then we mix it.
But no, what I was saying is, that little dude came out. And, it took until the sparks and the cloud thing, had faded away to realize it wasn't the real Goldberg. Especially being there live in the upper deck, and man, I laughed so hard. I mean, there were so many people that were mad, but I laughed. I laughed so hard at little mini Goldberg. And he even hit Goldberg. He even hit Jericho with that spear.
Yeah.
Jericho sold that. It was funny.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, I don't want to work with this guy. There's another asshole.
I thought WCW Jericho was good, man.
I love Jericho in WCW.
Yeah, he was good.
Him turning heel was the best.
Yeah.
He was. because he was getting a little worn out as the baby face because they were treating him like a pussy.
I mean, he had no character at all as a.
He was just smiling and being, smacking hands and mean mugging with the fans and having fun. But like when he turned, yeah, and the stuff with him and Eddie, when they were a tag team and working together, that was hilarious.
The feud with Dean Malenko, like he found a way to use Dean Malenko's sort of lack of sort of color or whatever.
Sort of lack?
Yeah. Like he found a way to make it work. Like
the toast on my sandwich called fucking Dean Malenko bland and boring. Okay.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. He was awesome in WCW. He was great.
Yeah,
he was great.
I mean, Jericho was good in the WWE as well. A lot of times, at some point, he's worn out his welcome. But it's whatever.
Well, and that was another stupid thing is they undervalued a bunch of guys. They undervalued these guys that were the glue in between all the big name stuff. They let Jericho go, they let Raven go, they let the Radicals go. I mean, it was
I remember when they all showed up on Raw the very next Monday, we were like, holy shit,
that was and that was just a slip away from being a really top tier introduction to those guys. If Eddie hadn't landed the wrong way on his elbow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then they had to switch it. All I know is that had to have hurt really bad for him not to be able to cover Road Dogg, I believe it was.
Yeah. But it was good how they did it. And it just goes to show you the difference at that time between WCW and WWF. Because they knew what to do with these guys, Well, not everything panned out.
It took a while because WWF to try, trying to catch up. They had the early D-Generation stuff.
Yeah,
D-Generation X. They had all those. Everybody was they had those 4 gang factions.
Oh my God, I hated DOA and it was hard.
Yeah, with white biker dudes and
that was the Harris twins, right?
That
was the Harris twins, right?
Yeah, and
Ron and Don Harris.
What was it? Brian Lee with them?
Yeah, primetime Brian Lee. Yeah. God, I hated that shit.
Yeah, because it was all it's like, oh hey guy, and the nation, hey guys, I heard the other dudes used the N-word when they were talking about you. Like you believe anything that fucking Hunter and fucking Shawn Michaels tell you. Stupid. Of course, it's completely believable. They probably should have just beat the shit out of the fucking DOA on principle because they probably let that slip anyway.
Yeah, the Harris brothers.
The
Harris brothers. I forgot about. They did get into some weird stuff.
Yeah,
didn't they?
Yeah, they're fucking nuts.
Yeah, they were rocking the. They were rocking the SS. They've been rocking the SS T-shirts before, and
oh man,
Yeah,
there's a thing from like the 80s and sort of 90s culture that you don't really like. That sort of, you remember when skinheads was kind of like a thing? You don't really like. It's different now. They still have that element around, but it's not the same. You don't go like you used to see people with their head shaved. You'd be like, oh, skinheads and stuff like that. Like, because the way they were dressed, you'd be like skinheads.
Yeah, with the fatigues and the combat boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember Crush was in the DOA?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
he had the terrible shark tooth tattoo on his forehead.
Yeah, hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, and then he took off to WCW, and him and Wrath had that tag team.
Yeah.
Well, Wrath was Atom Bomb, right?
Right.
Yeah. I
And
can't
then he
remember
was just
Brian Clark.
he was Wrath, and then they just made him, Brian Adams.
Yeah, Brian. Okay, that was.
Or Brian Adams was Crush, and he's passed away. The other one, he's still going.
You remember they're building him up for a bit in WCW, and then they had Kevin Nash.
Yeah. I know. I think I told you guys I got to talk to Chronic on the radio one time.
Oh yeah, I think you did tell us. Yeah. Say it again.
Well, I mean, that was I mentioned I'd mentioned to Wrath, I was like, man, everybody was crazy about the the pump handle finisher, and then
who's this now?
Wrath and WCW, Atom Bomb.
Oh yeah.
And
him and Glacier.
No, him and Mortis.
Mortis, there you go. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They had a feud with Glacier. My bad.
Yeah.
Mortis. Who's better than Canyon? Everybody.
Yeah, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he's like, sometimes it's like that, man, And then, it's crazy because, Chronic kind of, they were in, WCW, then they went to All Japan, and they went to WWF, and
it kind of reminds me like if you look at it, WCW had it.
Hey,
it had it.
I mean,
and then it just from anywhere from mismanagement to bad booking to bad decisions, it all fell apart. But they had it. They had it. It was in the palm of their hands.
From like fall of 1994 to say spring 1996, I was mostly out of wrestling, right? Like as a fan, because I was too busy. I was trying to become a rock star. I was in college, had girls chasing after me, blah blah. Like I was a busy person, and so I kept up a little bit, but it wasn't
Pedro
like
Bon Jovi.
But I'm saying it wasn't like before, And then the thing that got me back into wrestling, like in 1996, my brother Larry started watching hardcore again because the Ultimate Warrior had come back to the WWE, the WWF that year, right? And then he's telling me stuff. I'm not watching it. He's just telling me stuff. And then he's watching WCW, and the Hulk Hogan turns heel thing happens. And this is what I was like, well, I got to see this, right? I'm like, well, I got to see this whole deal. So the NWO angle is what brings me back to watching wrestling, like seriously again, instead of casually keeping up with things. So yeah, I mean, WCW did kind of have it because there had to be other people like me who were of that age.
Yeah.
Out and then came back in because what Hulk Hogan turned heel, the NWO, what?
Yeah, it really was. It was a continuation of the Hogan Savage, the WWF,
right, right.
Biggest names, invading, quote unquote invading WCW.
They had it. That's what I'm saying. They had it. And I don't know what happened.
We had it all.
I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. They had it, and they don't know what to do with it.
Just like Savage and Elizabeth. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, damn, Pedro. NXT pay-per-views tomorrow. That fucking battleground shit in the Octagon,
really?
whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
I'll look it up. I'll
Okay.
pull up the card. And next week's Clash at the Castle, right?
Yeah. AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes are going to meet in an I Quit match.
Oh, okay. So let's see. Battlegrounds at Enterprise, Nevada, UFC Apex. Oh, and okay. Let's see. The ladder match for the inaugural NXT Women's North American Championship. Sol Roca. How do you say her name? Sol Ruca?
Roca, yeah. No, you got it, Sol Roca.
Versus
Sol Roca.
Versus Fallon Henley versus Jaida Parker versus Michin versus Kalani Jordan. So I know who I do not know who Fallon Henley is. I don't know who Jaida.
She was part
Parker
of the. She was part of the. She's part of Josh Briggs, the Women of the Country crew.
Oh, okay.
And she turned heel. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know this Jaida Parker.
Jaida Parker's good.
Okay. Mitchum, we know that's / Jade / blah blah blah. Kalani Jordan, who is she?
She's a young girl. She's pretty decent. She's good. That's Carmelo Hayes' real life girlfriend.
Oh, okay. So you got all those ladies vying for the North American title ladder match, which I kind of like that because if you recall, they decided the first the men's North American title in a ladder match too.
Yeah.
So that's a nice callback.
Mm-hmm.
You got a 3-way match for the NXT North American title between Obafemi defending against Wesley and Joe Coffey.
Yeah.
Coffey.
That should be interesting.
Shayna Baszler versus Lola Vice in an NXT Underground match. Interesting.
Yeah. That's supposed to be held in the Octagon, supposedly, so we'll see.
Roxanne Perez versus Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's title.
I want Jordan Grace to go over so bad, just for the fuck of it, you know? That would be awesome if she was the NXT belt. That would be awesome.
Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the OC for the tag team titles.
Yeah, it's shit. But the only thing that's saving grace with these storylines, they keep making these inside jokes about Axiom.
Oh yeah,
and like one of them was like, there was this kid. There was this kid. A kid. I don't know his name, but they keep making in jokes like that. It's funny,
Hey, maybe Frazier and Axiom lose the mat and lose the titles, and Axiom gets angry, takes off his mask.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Trick Williams versus Ethan Page for the NXT title. It sounds like a pretty decent show.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's tomorrow. Okay,
Mania.
Let's see. Clash at the Castle, Scotland. Oh, I've got my attack.
Do you finally put the belt on Drew McIntyre in his home plow?
They're not doing it. I don't think so. Unless it's advancing the Judgment Day breakup. I don't think so because they've. Okay, let me put it to you like this. What do you see having more legs, James? Damian Priest losing the title at SummerSlam to Gunther and the Judgment Day thing imploding there, or Drew McIntyre versus Gunther at SummerSlam. Like, which you see having which one has more like meat to it?
Yeah, I gotta go Damian Priest. Yeah.
I mean that's what I see. Like Drew McIntyre, he'll probably get screwed by CM Punk in some way.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be a hell of a thing, right? If Drew McIntyre won in Glasgow.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, it's not as intriguing matchup you said with Damian Priest and Gunther at SummerSlam, but it would be a thing for him to win.
I could just see
the promos that Damian Priestley and Gunther could give us between now and then.
To what?
The promos that they could have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You are not a good representation. You will not take my belt from me that I won Judgment Day.
Go back home and cook the Wiener Schnitzel.
Gunther will be on top of his submarine and
but you know, and they got Piper Niven challenging Bailey too, so she's in the whole country.
Yeah, they're both Scottish. Too bad they don't have
challenging who? Baron Corbin?
Bailey.
No,
Bailey.
Bailey.
Too bad they don't have those two witches because they're Scottish as well. They are. They're in the women's tag match.
Yeah.
Man, all the Scottish people are going for gold in this show.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental title. I've been loving the stuff in that feud. The stuff with Chad Gable and
they got to re-sign him because this thing is coming up. Because his contract is up, so they got to re-sign him because he's good, man. Chad Gable's good.
Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles in an I Quit match. You know, I like that this show is only like 5 matches long, and it's going to be like so much more interesting than the like 12, 15 match long AEW show.
Hey, I talk from experience. Those AEW pay-per-views, it's fucking long. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what I was about to ask you. How long were you there? 6 hours? Right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's fucking long. Long. It's
No.
But yeah, man. But it should be a good show. I mean, NXT tomorrow should be good. And Class at the Castle, so it should be all right.
But does it compare with Forbidden Door?
Lord, but I give for all the shit I give Tony Khan, I gotta give him credit on one thing that he actually made happen, and it just puts my belief that money does make the world go round. Yeah, because he's gonna have both CMLL wrestlers and AAA wrestlers on the Forbidden Door card.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
I don't know how he pulled that off, but he did it.
Money.
Yeah.
That's how he pulled it off. Money.
Yeah. Because, you know, that's a strict no-no. Oh, no, you can't do that. But I guess he got it done. You know?
Money.
Yeah.
Money.
It must be wonderful to have a bottomless wallet. Unbelievable.
Well, I mean,
our wrestlers can't compete on the same show with the other wrestlers. Yeah, okay, it's $10 million. Okay, yeah, they can fight.
James, I'm going to tell you something. There is no such thing as a bottomless wallet.
Tony Khan seems to have one.
It's so many. It just take a few turns in life for that.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's just. But the way he gives it away, man, it's like, yeah. I mean,
he's right
even if I'm a billionaire, right? Even if I'm a billionaire, and like, you know, like I am not giving Sasha Banks $10 million. That's not happening.
Unless she's
this is another thing.
That's not happening.
Right. This is another thing that, like, when people talk about the similarities between AEW and WCW, it's like really overpaying for talent.
Yeah.
You know, because you guys remember when in that original Rise and Fall of WCW, and they're like talking to Mike Graham, and you know he's acting like he's the one that's helping bring Hogan into WCW.
Yeah.
Oh man, well if we don't scoop him up, I'm like, well, who else will?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Nobody had the money to pay him remotely what he wanted. Nobody else did. He could have gone to Japan and made money, sure, But I mean, there was nobody in America. Where's he going to go? Global?
Yeah,
No,
right.
probably closed up by then. USWA, Jerry Jarrett and fucking, Lawler, keeping, that place that place was not thriving in the, at that point, and they certainly didn't have Hogan money. I mean, there was nowhere else for him to go. Everybody, we got to get him before somebody else does. Who? Otto Wands?
Otto Wands.
Otto Wands.
What was that, CWA in Germany? The
Yeah.
catch wrestling.
Yeah, catch wrestling. Yeah.
You ever seen?
That's my point. But that's my point with Sasha Banks. That's my point with Sasha Banks. Nobody's giving her that money. Nobody. So you better get it yourself.
Well, once again, I mean, who else has that money? Just
Only one other
WWE.
person. Right, exactly. And they're not going to give it to her.
Right, but I mean, but TNA doesn't have that money.
No, hell no. Tino could barely afford to pay Jordan Grace. That's why she's wrestling on NXT tomorrow.
Hey,
shit, we don't know.
Have y'all heard this rumor that WWE is going to purchase TNA?
No, they're not.
I've heard that, but once again, what would you want it for?
Yeah, exactly. What? There's no upside to that.
Doesn't seem like it. I mean, the video library I can kind of understand, but I mean, otherwise, I don't really see any. Yeah.
The only thing, the only thing with the video library, because of Netflix. Okay, maybe, but other than that, there's no upside to them buying TNA. What? You gonna have Moose show up on Raw all of a sudden? No, no.
Moose
no, there's no upside. Yeah, I mean, there's no upside.
Would people even in the WWE even know who Moose is?
No, they're clueless too. They barely know who people at NXT are. How the fuck they gonna know who people at TNA are?
This is true. Although you remember there was a point in time when they would bring up NXT people, and the main roster fans were very almost like they were very resistant to them.
Yeah.
And now they seem more open to them, but maybe it's the way they're being brought up. I don't know. Like
there's also a lot of cross promotion going on. Like a lot of
that's true.
They go back down.
They have had Cena and Becky and Dom and stuff, like go over there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There've been a lot of NXT people in the Royal Rumble and this and that.
Yeah.
So, but please, they barely know who NXT wrestlers are. How the fuck they don't know who TNA wrestlers are? Please.
Do you think Jordan Grace ends up in the WWE before the year is over or by next year?
I would hope so. I mean, she deserves it, man. Why not? I mean, she's carried that.
Nobody deserves shit.
Yeah.
She should get it. She carried it. She carried the women's division. TNA.
I don't think so. I mean, not all that much. I mean, look, she's been there. This is the other thing about TNA. Everybody gets their turn. If you're a top,
I agree.
If you're a top person, it's just a revolving door. It's like, okay,
she's been there for a minute, right? She's been there for how long?
Oh yeah,
she's been there a long time.
Look at Chelsea Green. How long was Chelsea Green in TNA? And then she went to WWE and she blew up. I mean, yeah.
Well, she went to Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
She was in WWE more than once. I mean, this is like her second or third time. This is her third time, I think, technically in the WWE. But because I think her first stint was as a therapist during the Daniel Bryan Kane tag team.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild to say. That was a role she did. But and then in TNA, she had the big run as the Hot Mess. I can't remember her full name, but I remember the Hot Mess.
I think her name was Laurel Van Ness.
Yeah, there you go.
Laurel Van Ness, the Hot Mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she was in Lucha Underground, then in WWE, then out again, then back again. So She's making the most of this run, though, man.
Yeah, she's doing it. But I would like I said earlier, I would love to see Jordan Grace beat fucking Roxanne Perez tomorrow for an NXT strap. Hold 2 belts in the air. Be like, what? Fuck AEW in their forbidden door because we just did the same thing on our developmental.
I don't see it happening, but
no, I don't see it happening either. But I would like to see it happen.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we just had a run, a year and a half ago of TNA and AEW, and AEW just shit all over them.
Yeah.
I mean,
please, Zeus, please. I'm so pissed that they made Okada tap. Okay.
Hey, any AEW interaction with whatever promotion is always one-sided. It's always a one-sided thing.
If you go, James, if you go to work for AEW, you get what you get. It's like going to AEW is actually like worse than being an ex-WCW guy going to work for Vince. I mean, that's how bad they're especially Okada. They're just shitting right all over.
Oh, man. I mean, who people were so scared that Okada was gonna show up in NXT and be part of that what's that university thing in the James, what's that group in NXT, they have like a little university, a little school thing.
Yeah, Chase U.
Yeah, Chase U. People were like, oh, they're gonna put him in Chase U. It's gonna be terrible. And now we're like, oh, that doesn't sound so bad. Doesn't sound so bad in comparison. Like they made him a dweeb in AEW. Like, oh,
horrible. I don't see people saying, "Oh, I want a main event Double or Nothing one day." No, people say, "I want a main event WrestleMania." He could have been in WrestleMania.
It's like that. Look, either whatever you decide to do, you have to realize that the style of the way that things work in these places isn't changing a whole lot. I mean, honestly, WWE is changing more now with the way that they, the way that they seemingly treat people, in storylines and things, and than they have in a long time. And I wonder why. It's just because finally Vince McMahon got kicked the fuck out. But AEW's not. I mean, Tony's not changing. He's like, what did he say the other day? I'm booking for the sick fucks like you and me. And somebody was like, no, you booked Shibata to lose to Jericho clean. You are not one of us.
Poor Shibata.
Well, I would say poor Shibata, but he probably shouldn't be wrestling.
Yeah, but he took the money too. He took the money.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm not going to hold it against these people for taking the money. I mean, what? It's money.
Yeah. I can't. Something. How good is Forbidden Door going to be? It's not going to be any good because who's left?
Stuff as always, James.
No, but okay. At least there was name power. Like you have Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada. That's a marquee matchup. There's no marquee matchup in this one.
James, you're saying that's a marquee matchup.
It was.
James, if you went to the mall, and you said you guys want to see Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada, people will be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
For AEW fans, that's a marquee matchup. Am I right or am I wrong?
But anything is a marquee matchup for AEW fans. Is that logo in the corner? It's the best thing ever.
But
the
my point is,
marquees
there's
of main
nobody
events.
in New Japan now that's going to pull that same kind of thing. Like, who wants to see, Dave Finlay? Nobody. Nobody.
Well, now to be fair, New Japan screwed that up themselves.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, they're still
they
screwed.
they screwed that up.
They're still screwed.
Yeah. But everything is just so crap because it's just like we've been saying for a long time now. Is they've been caught in a generational talent gap to where now we've got the Suji and Umino and Narita.
Yeah, I mean,
they're years behind where they should be as far as experience and being actually really good, which none of them really are. They're not outstanding. I mean, it's such a when they tried to call them the new Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you're comparing these three, children to fucking Muto, Chono, and Hashimoto. Like, come on.
Yeah. Like, you think they were forcing it a little? Jesus.
Yeah. You just have to let them, if things have to kind of gel organically and, and like, I don't know in real life what they're like, but in kayfabe, they all hate each other, whereas, Muto, Chono, and Hashimoto had, not just a friendship, but they also had a highly competitive rivalry with each other. I mean, they didn't, have the kid gloves on whenever they had to go against each other. They beat the crap out of each other.
They were a little stiff.
But they were also really good at everything. It wasn't, it just, you just bought into it, because they were also good at everything. So, and they were trained by good guys, and they were, they had good, they had great, what do they call them? Excursions, I mean, especially, of course, the Great Muta had the, maybe the greatest excursion of any New Japan Young Lion of all time.
Yeah. James, I know reading threads and stuff that a lot of the AEW fans are clamoring for the Swerve Will Ospreay match at Forbidden Door. Like,
why?
I mean, I think part of it is because they thought they weren't going to get it until Wembley.
Right.
And now they're getting it early. They're like, oh, this means Swerve might win. Stuff like that. I don't know. Who knows?
I haven't been watching AEW, so I can't tell you firsthand. But what I've been reading, they're saying that AEW is mishandling Swerve as their champ. I don't know if that's true or not true.
Yeah, what I've been reading, he's not really shown as like he's not the main event thing on the show. No, it's usually like the elite angle or whatever.
Right. And that's a shame,
Yeah.
Well, then, but Pedro, hold on, Pedro. Let me ask you then. What's the point of putting your top shot on the guy if you're not going to push him
James,
or showcase him?
AEW, I have said this a long time ago. You can go to multiple episodes of our show and find me saying AEW builds up to a title win and then they do nothing with the person afterwards. You can find example after example after example. The only person that was different so far, Jericho when he was the champion and Omega when he was the champion. Everyone else, their title reign is just an afterthought. Like, it's just diminished returns. They don't put much into the stories. Or just build up to matches. They're just like, we need a reason for this title defense to happen. Oh, it's in my notebook. I gotta build up a reason for it.
Who is Moxley fighting?
I have no idea. I mean,
because he needs to drop the bell already.
Oh, Moxie's gonna fight Evil in that lumberjack match sometime.
Oh
Death
my
match.
God, that's right.
Lumberjack
That's right.
death match. Get it right.
That's right.
It's going to be
that tomorrow?
amazing. It's going to be such an incredible technical affair of Billy Robinson and Luthez type proportions that the lumberjacks are going to just start slapping each other just because they're so left out of the action. It's going to be totally contained in the ring.
Hey, you mentioned Billy Robinson, Zeus.
Yes.
Last night, Zeus and I watched a little bit of Billy Robinson. It was Billy Robinson and Wahoo McDaniels versus Giant Baba and Jumbo Tsuruta.
Ooh.
This the match wasn't all that special, but
No.
it was. No. It was just interesting to see, but because we were curious about Wahoo in Japan, but this leads me to
both of us, James.
Yeah.
We owe you a great apology from last week by misspelling Magnum's name.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched two different Magnum TA Ric Flair matches, and we also watched a Magnum TA Wahoo McDaniel match for the U.S. title in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
And we were saying
they're going, yeah, keep telling me.
We were saying Magnum was really solid in the ring. Like he was pretty. Like the wrestling was pretty good. Was pretty solid.
And he was fluid a lot more than Luger was.
Oh yeah, I mean it seemed pretty.
It wasn't that he was like fluid. He was just really great at the things that were great in the 80s. He was great at the selling.
Right.
He was great at doing his part. Because it wasn't a lot. It wasn't like Dean Malenko versus
no. But he knew how to throw a drop kick. He knew how to sell a drop kick. So yeah, he was good at what he did. He was fluid.
He was really good at selling the pain.
Yeah.
We were talking about it at one point. He was like right there. He was like trapped in a hole, and he was right there at the ropes. And but it didn't seem like they were right there on him. It just.
I watched that AWA match between him and Flair. I was like, yeah, fucking Luger can never do that, never.
Yeah, we watched that too.
Yeah,
the one from Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh God!
I thought the one from Houston was better.
Yeah, it was way better.
Yeah,
better by a lot.
I gotta watch that one.
Was more of a fight. The crowd was better. The crowd wasn't great at that AWA show.
There's an outdoor stadium and it was all configured.
A bunch of New Jersey idiots, right?
That was in Chicago.
Or Chicago. Well, they're not real bright either.
Yeah, you just
but the way it was configured, there was no crowd around. It was just configured wrong.
Oh yeah, the seating was terrible.
Yeah,
so much wasted seating.
Yeah.
They should have been butt up against the stands.
Yeah.
The Wahoo Magnum TA match was even better crowd wise. Like, the crowd was just like new kids on the block were fighting or something. I mean, they were just
Magnum was good. That's
girls.
What did I say? I would take all my apologies. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much.
Now, I did not have a chance to watch Flair Luger from Starrcade '88, so I cannot report back on that yet. But when I
can tell you this much, it won't be as good as the Magnum match.
Yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely.
There is no we'll see. It will not be as good, Pedro. Will not. There is no we'll see.
I mean, I remember it being a pretty decent match in the past, so we'll see. Yeah,
Flair carries everybody. Okay. I mean, how good was the only thing that messed up that AWA match?
Wasn't so much and with Magnum.
Yeah, he wasn't carrying Magnum.
No. But if they had Tommy Young as the ref in that AWA match, he worked with Flair so much better. So he knew like an AWA match when do you remember when Flair pushed the ref?
Yeah.
He had to push the ref 4 times for the refs to put them back.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was Tommy Young. Tommy Young, like he would have got pushed once, and then instantly would have pushed Flair back. So they had the wrong ref in that match, Like he didn't understand Flair working with the ref.
Pee Wee Anderson was the ref in the Houston match.
Yeah, see, he knows Flair.
It's Afro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good match. That was a really good match.
Yeah. But yeah, we were saying Magnum was way better than we were giving him credit for last week.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, James, you weren't even giving him credit last week on the show.
No, I said, is he spectacular? Is he a technical genius? No, he's not. But he was a lot better than Luger.
You said he didn't have to be good.
He didn't. Right, he didn't.
You have to be good.
He didn't have to be. He had charisma.
Look,
he had charisma. He had the looks. And hold on, Zeus. And he could cut a promo.
But
so he didn't.
You do have to be good.
He didn't have to be spectacular in the ring.
And now you just changed your. That's different.
That's what I meant. He didn't have to be good. He didn't have to be good. He looked good. And he had charisma. He connected with the fans. So he already had it. He was like Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior was shit, but he connected with the fans. And for some strange reason, everybody loved his sick promos.
James, you know what Ultimate Warrior's charisma was, don't you?
What?
Cocaine. He
was Tony Khan in there before Tony Khan.
A lot of horse steroids. That probably explains his promos.
Horse steroids.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, Luger was never that. Never. And his best day, Luger couldn't connect like Magnum did. He never looked as good in the ring as Magnum did. He didn't have the charisma that Magnum did. Never.
Yeah, but Magnum was pretty solid. He definitely was not carried. He held up his end of the match, and they were good matches.
Flair rules.
What else did we see? Oh, we saw Wahoo McDaniel versus Johnny Valentine from 1974 in the super old 16mm footage.
Yes.
Oh my God.
No. Who did you say, Pedro? Is Johnny Valentine?
Yeah, Johnny Valentine.
Yeah. Dude, that was a great fucking match.
Really?
U.S. title, and oh man, people were going ballistic. I mean, the match was a dusty finish.
Nice.
Yeah.
What? No, it wasn't a dusty finish. It was a double pin finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wahoo had him for like a belly to back, but his shoulders were down, and Johnny got his shoulder up, and Wahoo ended up arguing for so long, and he ended up stealing the belt and running off to the dressing room with it.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Nice.
So I'm looking
at
the card for tomorrow's New Japan show. Oh my God. The opening match is Naito versus Callum Newman.
Oh God, really?
Yeah.
Naito?
Opening match.
No, what? I did remember voting on that in the collection.
Yeah. Then you get a 6-man match, a TMDK versus Bullet Club War Dogs. Then you get the KOPW title match between Yuya Yamura versus Great-O-Khan. Great-O-Khan, who should be...
He's being wasted.
He should be one of the people in the main event. I feel like him, Jeff Cobb, and Zack Sabre Jr. should be filling up the main event instead of what they're doing with the main event. But Here he is in the third match for the KOPW bullshit. Then you've got never open weight 6-man title match between Tanahashi, Oleg Boltin, and Toru Yano versus Bushi, Hiromu, and Yota Tsuji. Man, what a...
This guy is so bad in New Japan that I actually want Tachi and Gumby to come back together.
Well...
Yeah, well, they're completely different factions, so...
Yeah, I don't care, Zeus. I want them, that's how bad it is.
No, but you know how these guys are with the factions, you know?
Yeah, I know.
And then for the TV title, Jeff Cobb defends against Ishii, Tomohiro Ishii. Then for the tag team titles / New Japan Strong titles, it's a 4-way tornado match between Bullet Club, Chase Owens, Kenta, Guerrillas of Destiny, LP and Hikuleo versus TMDK versus Bishamon. So there's a gazillion people.
Yeah, it's like a 4-man tag thing for the...
It's 4-way elimination tornado match. That means all of them can be in the ring at the same time, all the time.
That sounds like a clusterfuck waiting to happen.
Never open weight. Shingo defends against Hinare. Then the world heavyweight title, John Moxley versus Evil in the Lumberjack Death match. And then the main event is Taji Ishimori versus Desperado in the Best of the Super Junior final.
Well, you got to give it a Desperado, right?
I hope so.
I mean, you would think Desperado will win this, right?
You hope so.
I would think so, but you never know.
They're not going to put on Ishimori.
What?
Again, right?
Then Ishimori had his run already, right?
It's not for the title. It's for the
I mean, he's
okay.
It's tournament.
Right.
He's just been entrenched in the junior division since he came back.
Yeah.
It seems like a cumbersome.
Hey, do me a favor, Pedro. See if the Forbidden Door card is up already.
I think they only have like 4 matches announced. But
4 matches announced?
I'll look it up. Forbidden Door.
I'm curious to see who from New Japan's there.
Well, right now, probably not much, but Swerve versus Will Ospreay for the AEW Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe versus participants to be announced for ladder match for the vacant AEW TNT title. Sasha versus Stephanie Vaquer. Winner takes all for the TBS and the New Japan Strong Women's title. And Timeless Toni Storm defends the women's title against Mina Shirakawa from Stardom. So that's it.
Real looking.
They still got which did y'all see Mina's promo from last week's show where she accepted the challenge? This is on Stardom.
Yeah.
Dynamite. This is on Stardom.
She was doing Tony Storm's gimmick. Yeah. Chin up, tits out.
Yeah, tits out, all this stuff. The Japanese audience were just like very quietly clapping. They didn't seem to know what to make of it.
Yeah, because that's Tony Storm does that shit. So yeah.
They were just like, why is she pushing on her tits? And, well, I mean, she does that anyways, but still, it's just like, didn't seem very warmly received. But the AEW fans online seem to love it. They're like, oh, hot girl.
The AEW fans.
And they're great, right, James?
No, they're fucking fanatics.
We love AEW fans.
Oh,
they want to watch our show.
Yeah, please. There's only one AEW fan that I like, and like is a strong word, okay? It's a very strong word. All right? It's our favorite for Sugar, Lord Lux. But other than that...
Doesn't Angie love...
Angie likes AEW, yeah.
She doesn't seem to like it as much as she used to.
No. Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Angie.
Yeah, shout out to Angie. She's cool. She's cool, man. She's cool. We were talking baseball yesterday, so that's good. It's like, I'll text you, get tomorrow for Yankees Dodgers. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I said, now I got to put it with you with this shit. Go ahead.
So is it just one game today?
Yeah. It's a 3-game set. So last night, it's today and tomorrow.
Only baseball can you play twice in one day professionally.
Yeah.
Hey, James, you said there was something about movies you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. Did you watch that Under Paris, Zeus?
I did.
And
I was surprised. So it's not great acting, especially because it's French dubbed into English.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the dubbing's horrible.
So we're kind of at the mercy of the voice actor, and none of them were great. But I think they successfully used just about every shark trope.
Yeah.
All in one movie. Like they had the somehow genetically altered shark, like Deep Blue Sea. They had sharks interrupting a huge public water event, like from Jaws.
Yep.
They had lots of baby sharks and there was just a lot of.
I was so mad. I was so mad at 2 characters. One, I wanted the shark to come up and bite the mayor right in the ass.
Of course, I think we all wanted that to happen in Jaws too. So.
Yeah, right. It's like the same thing. It mimicked it, right?
Yeah.
And you had that character, Mia. She was like, they're going to kill the shark. We got to set it free. The shark just killed like 2,000 people and you're worried about the shark? I'm so glad that bitch got eaten. I was so happy.
I'm watching the trailer right now. I haven't seen it.
Last night, it was the #1 movie on Netflix.
On Netflix. Yeah, man, it's not bad.
Godzilla right behind it, but...
Yeah, it's not bad. And it's a downer ending, too, which I love. I love this downer ending.
They definitely set it up for more.
Yeah. And there's sharks everywhere, and the fucking parrots is basically underwater. It was hot how they did it. I was like, yeah, there you go. And I watched Godzilla -1 4 times.
Oh, wow, 4 times.
I watched it with the Japanese audio and the English subtitles there, but because I can't do it dubbed. I'm like, no way. So I watched it 4 times in the original Japanese audio, and I loved it.
This girl popping out of the water with the blood spewing from her mouth.
Yeah. I loved it. I love -1. I thought it was an excellent movie. Excellent. I actually cared about the people in that movie. I was like, no, don't die. I actually cared.
Yeah. I'm sorry you didn't get to see it in the theater because it's such a huge...
Yeah.
You saw the limitations a little bit of the special effects with Godzilla, especially when he walked. When he was walking on land, you're like, okay. But other than that, I thought he looked fantastic.
I mean, I'm going to say something about the special effects. I think there is a slightly dark reason why the special effects have been applauded so much that people don't put enough spotlight on. But people, when the movie came out and people were watching it and we were all loving it, people were like, oh, it looks so good and it was made for so cheap. And now, why was it made for so cheap? Do y'all know?
No.
Like how? Do you know how it was made for so cheap?
No.
They underpaid these people. They underpaid these people.
Yeah.
They paid these people like slave wages or something, like very little money. So you go, well, why? I've seen some people saying, well, these were not Oscar-winning special effects. Like, why did they give this the Academy Award? And I go, oh, I wonder why the movie industry would be celebrating special effects made on dirt cheap by underpaying people. I wonder why they would be celebrating this.
Yeah, America, take notice.
Like, why would they be celebrating this? They want to pay art people even less? What? I can't believe it.
I like the way they did his atomic breath. That was very cool. The fact that he had to recharge to do it, because that was a nice touch, you know? I was like, all right, good job there. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
They did that in Shin Godzilla as well. He had
yeah. But it was good. I enjoyed -1. I enjoyed it very much.
Well, you know, I think part of the celebration of the special effects is that because you can tell they really aren't that great, but what they are is they're not overdone.
Right.
You know,
right.
You know, we didn't have to have you know, magenta fucking glow coming out of hill slits and shit, you know, and you know, running around like fucking Forrest Gump and Bubba, you know.
Yeah, I watched that one too. I watched that one. Now, one I consider one a film, and the other one's just marketing for fucking lunchboxes, because that's all it is. Because you know I Godzilla versus Kong, X-Con, bullshit, Rise of the Empire, or I don't know, whatever title they call it. It's just for lunchboxes and toys and McDonald's. That's it.
I wish they had. That would have been awesome if they had toys and McDonald's for it, James.
Because that was pure marketing. That's a movie, pure marketing. That's all it is. You know, yes. The only thing I like about that. The only thing I like about the legendary Godzilla is that they make him the king of the monsters. He is king of the monsters. He beat Kong. He beat everybody. He beats everybody. So good.
Yeah, it's just you know, for the legendary stuff. It's just, to me, it's so overdone, so over the top, and of course, you know, we went through all these different.
Well, it was made for kids, so you gotta remember that.
James, it doesn't. It's not the point.
Hey,
I'm just saying it. Like, it's just like the things that they made that were just, you know, when they're just tripping over their own selves trying to tell a stupid story.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and then you know, when they're sabotaging things they're trying to do by because they got to tell stupid fucking jokes. They're terrible movies. The MonsterVerse stuff are terrible pieces of crap. But
I thought the first movie.
But I'll say this: the success of those movies make things like Shin Godzilla and Godzilla -1 able to happen.
Right.
True. Right.
Like, I've come to peace with that aspect of it, but I will not watch the MonsterVerse movies anymore. Like, I'm not putting myself through it anymore. Like, I'm happy for the people who love just constant bullshit, horrible dread, like from the toilet coming out. I'm glad.
You gotta treat it for what they are, man.
I don't have to submit myself to it anymore, especially when I can just wait a few years and I get Shin Godzilla and I get Godzilla -1. If I just wait,
I love Shin Godzilla,
so I don't have to watch that stuff. But people loving it is good because it makes stuff like Shin Godzilla and Godzilla -1 able to happen. So more power to the popcorn toilet stuff. So
I'm glad that we both like Under Paris Zeus. I thought Under Paris is pretty good too.
By the way, Pedro, I just looked right now on Under Paris because I was like, y'all are saying about the dub. I was like, if this is only available dubbed, it's very not likely I will watch it. But you can watch in the original French with subtitles.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
I didn't even check.
I might go back and watch that again then.
Yeah, so would I. Yeah, so would
I. So I may actually watch it since I can watch it that way. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I prefer the original audio myself. I watched the first Omen. It was okay. It was all right. It's a slow burn, but it's good.
So the one,
I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a bullshit prequel and blah blah blah, but it sets up nicely.
not the one from the 70s.
No.
Oh,
Actual movie called The First Omen.
okay, never mind. I thought you were
Yeah.
saying the first, like you watched the first Omen movie.
No.
Okay, I got you now.
It's actually pretty good. It's a slow burn. It's nice. They don't overdo it. It's not gory. It has aspects to it that can be gory, but they show like the camera angles are like.
I mean, they are shark attacks,
Right.
They are kind of by definition.
So it's good. I enjoyed it. I was like, okay, all right, not bad, good job. So,
Yeah, and like I said, just you see, oh, they're taking this from that and this from that. So
yeah.
Y'all are talking about two different movies at the moment. Just so y'all know.
what am I talking about?
Jay, you're talking about Under Paris. James talking about The First Omen.
The First Omen.
Yeah.
I'm at my
long
table right now, having to negotiate my sister and my dad talking about two different things at the same time. But,
Under Paris, yeah, I gotta watch that with the French language.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because the dubbing was horrible.
Because that the other thing, James, that helps us now is already having, heard it.
Yeah,
it'll help. You won't have to read quite as hard.
Right. I like that opening scene too, man. The opening scene was pretty cool. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of viewing stuff this week, what have I watched? I watched I'm still catching up on Marigolds. There's one more show I have to watch to catch up on the Marigold wrestling shows. And otherwise,
You just sound like you went underwater, Pedro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There is a new Twitch channel called Nihon After Dark.
Uh-huh.
And they show a bunch of just obscure, tokusatsu kind of Japanese TV shows and stuff. And one of the things they've been showing is Sukiban Deka and some other sort of spin-off Sukiban shows. And I've just been watching a ton of that stuff. Something about schoolgirl gangs fighting each other with special weapons. The girl with a yo-yo, a metal yo-yo, girl with like a rose that explodes and all this kind of stuff. Megumi Odaka from the Godzilla movies with a gold coin. So I've been loving watching all that stuff, but I haven't seen any movies this week.
Pedro, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you like Kill Bill?
I like parts of it. I like parts of both of them. I wasn't crazy for the whole thing in total, but I like parts of it. Like I like the speech. I like the speech, the conversation between Bill and I can't remember who was at the end. I like the whole speech. They have the Superman speech.
Yeah.
I like that part a lot. I like that whole finale showdown. There are other stuff I don't go so crazy for. I think I like part 2 more than I like part 1.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's pretty fair, I think.
Your pussy wagon broke down.
It takes me a bit to get myself to where I want to watch Kill Bill 1 and 2 again.
Right.
I mean, it's just there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of, it's a journey, and I mean, it's not one of those things I can just watch over and over.
I've been hesitant to watch Doom Part 2. I don't know if I could do it.
I can't imagine. I mean, just because you took a 3-hour movie and you made a third of it last another 3 hours.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You take a 3.5-hour movie that lasts like 10 hours, and it's like the whole thing is you're going to start at the same point, end at the same point, probably, right? And so there's nothing really all that new that they're going to tell in between, because they have 20 to 30 minutes of cinematography of the desert and the sand and all that shit. And, oh, look, it's more sand.
Do y'all remember Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I saw it in the theaters when it came out, saw it in Mandarin or whatever with subtitles. I remember people were so engrossed, and then they got to the part. Remember, there's like almost a 30-minute segment of the movie that's just about the girl and that guy in the desert chasing each other. And it just everyone. I just remember the whole energy in the room just became like,
everybody got the
Everyone's like, why is this going on so long?
Yeah.
So that's what it sounds like you're describing, but it's like for 3 hours.
It's 3 hours. It's like what, 3.5 hours, some shit like that. Doom Part 2.
I don't know. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours. And plus, if I'm going to sit through that, I'd rather watch the Snyder Cut again. I'm not doing that.
I feel like Dune. Isn't Dune, the source material is a bunch of books, right? It's like a bunch of books.
Yeah.
So it feels like something that should be almost a mini series or like a television series that's being turned into movies, and they don't know if.
Speaking of television series, I know you guys are ready for the Acolyte, right?
Promo number 2.
Oh God! I mean, Star Wars is dead. It's dead, man.
It's been dead for a while, yeah.
Zeus, this is the Acolyte. Come on, what are you talking about?
This is the funeral pyre on top of the grave. Okay,
this is before the Jedi, before the Empire. What's wrong with you? Aren't you excited for the Acolyte?
The Force is a vagina. You know, I'm not really excited. You know,
I couldn't even put myself to put on Disney Plus. I was like, no thanks.
Right.
No.
And for anybody who thinks I'm kissing George Lucas's ass, I'm not. Because he stole a lot of these ideas from A, he stole some shit from Dune, and B, he stole almost all the character dynamics he stole from Jack Kirby's Fourth World.
No.
He stole it all. He stole all of it.
Just for the king. For people who don't know, the Acolyte is like set before the prequels. So this is like
right.
They're like, we're gonna retcon. They're doing like a Doctor Who thing recently. We're gonna retcon what was set by all these people in the past, the originators. We're gonna retcon everything. So this is what they're doing. Now go away with it.
I can't. I watched the trailer, and I'm like, really?
Did you watch Kenobi?
Too is like none of this was really meant to happen. This should have been like after Empire. Like legitimately, you could have even said this after Star Wars. Like the first Star Wars could have just died. It could have just been a springboard for George Lucas to do other stuff, right? Because none of this was super well thought out. Everybody's like, oh yeah, well he had the plans, and all that crap was just.
That's bullshit. He didn't have no plans. He
had ideas, but he didn't. There was nothing concrete, and you can tell that there was stuff that wasn't tackled until they started doing things.
Yep.
And because it just some of these concepts and things are so huge and amorphous. It's like, how even after Return of the Jedi, right? You took down another Death Star. You took down another. Star Destroyer battle group. Well, I mean, the freaking empires across the galaxy, like it should have been another just 3 movies, fighting the rest of the empire, because somebody else would have stepped up, become the new leader of the empire, and it probably would have taken another 30 years to get rid of them.
Yeah.
You know
when they lost me? Oh, Greedo shot first. No, Han shot first. Okay, but why did they change it? I don't know. That's what they lost.
That was this whole thing of where we've gone back and vilified heroes is just stuff has just never made sense to me. I don't understand.
Han Solo was a fucking smuggler. what?
I mean, but the whole thing is like, he's a scoundrel.
Right?
He's not, but he's not a bad person.
No, it's just what he does for a living.
Yeah. And I mean, the stuff that, like, even though Solo was just really a heist movie, but I mean, it was kind of not bad to see how Han and Chewie became
right,
friends.
Solo was not a bad movie. It was not a bad movie. It was not Han Solo. It should have just been given a different name, different characters. It was not Han Solo. That was the big mistake of that movie. No one was ever going to buy that guy as Han Solo. It was an impossible thing to attempt. It was not going to be Han Solo. That was not Lando Calrissian. None of these people read as these characters. They should have just made them other people and called it something else. It would have been totally fine because it was a totally fine movie. It was a totally fun movie. It was not Han Solo though.
Right,
no universe was it Han Solo.
But and I understand what you're saying, Pedro. But the thing is that movie would not have been made if it had, because it's just like Battlestar Galactica reboot. Like we want to do Deathwing in outer space. It's like, well, why would we want to, that sounds stupid. Why would we want to do that? Well, what if we call it Battlestar Galactica? It's the same thing. We want to do a space heist movie. Well, why would we do that? Well, why don't we, call it Han Solo and integrate some of his backstory? Okay, well, we'll that we can greenlight.
This is why I joined the Federation. That's why I'm a part of the United Federation of Planets. You see?
Yeah, but James, the Federation,
they kind of fucked that up too, didn't they?
Oh, hell yeah, they did.
The Federation is evil now. The Federation is evil.
Yeah,
the Federation's evil. It's racist and
very racist,
and corrupt, and they're all terrible people.
Okay, y'all gonna have to catch me up here. When did the Federation become evil and racist? Was it in the new movies? Was it in the new TV show or what? I don't.
The new movies because the second movie, the first movie, they were legitimately fighting the Romulan renegade, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But in the second one, they're fighting RoboCop James Woods as the admiral in charge of the Starfleet, and they make a giant warship, and then they, he's trying to start a war with Klingons and destroy the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Right? And Khan, and of course Khan was released and cultivated. And it was Khan's genius that led them to be able to make a cloaked Federation ship that actually can increase speed during warp.
Yeah.
Right. It can overtake another ship. It can speed up and slow down in warp. Don't ask me why. And kick the
Dreadnought class
out of warp. Right. And so.
Yeah, Dreadnought class ship. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to pretend the Star Trek ended with that movie where Data died and.
Data died. Yeah.
I'm going to pretend that was the end of Star Trek. I'm just
right. You should. And
they fucked that up. They fucked that up. Did you watch Picard the series? They fucked that up too.
No, I didn't watch that. No.
No. But wait. So then in the third reboot movie. Idris Elba is a former Starfleet officer who gets I don't know, what is he? Just alienized or something?
Yeah, he gets some kind of shit from some planet and he transforms to a giant fucking
he's an alien for most of it. Yeah. He's an alien, but it turns out he's just another evil Federation
bitter ex-captain. Yeah.
And it's so terrible. It's like Jesus, why, Star Trek, it's like you wonder why they didn't make another one after that, besides the death of the kid to play in Chekhov. that it's like, how many ways we gotta fight ourselves here?
They fucked that all up.
Man, they should have made like, I don't know, Deep Space Nine movies or.
And also in the third one too, we had a tribute to Retgar from Transformers. We had a junkie on in there. The girl that was,
right.
Yeah, this girl, she's obsessed with 1980s Earth American culture, right? Yeah. And she talks with like old TV phrases and shit, and she doesn't understand.
You check in, but you don't check out.
Right?
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
Man.
Okay. It was rough.
So.
See, but that's why you just gotta leave shit alone. Don't touch it. But no. Well, everybody gets greedy. Everybody gets greedy, and they want more money, and they want more merchandising, fucking more lunchboxes, etc., etc., etc.
It's what Zeus said. They had a fun heist space action movie, but they couldn't make it unless it had IP that people know, right? So it has to be Han Solo. And blah blah blah, and Londo is having weird kinky sex with robots and stuff like that. So yeah, you can't make the space heist movie unless you do that. So you can't make Star Trek stuff without.
Commercial right now for the Acolytes on my TV. The Acolyte now streaming before the Menace.
Well, so James, I asked you about Kenobi because, like, I haven't seen Kenobi. I haven't seen Ahsoka. I haven't seen any of that stuff.
Last thing I watched was The Mandalorian. That was it.
I watched all the Mandalorian, and I saw that Boba Fett show because I knew the Mandalorian was tied into it. So
I refuse to watch Kenobi because I don't want to see how they fucked that up.
When the Mandalorian movie comes out, we'll be watching that because Stephanie loves Grogu, and so he's our child basically. So gotta watch our child on TV on the screen.
I refuse to watch Kenobi, Pedro, because I don't want to see how bad they screwed that up.
I'm not going to watch any of those things. I mean, they've messed up Star Wars. I mean, a long time ago. So I mean we thought the prequels were bad. It's funny. We thought the prequels were terrible. We're like, they fucked everything up. And we didn't know how bad it could get.
Yeah. I got metachlorians. Really? No.
I mean, So now like it went from like the Force is midichlorians to like now it's gonna be the Force is female.
I can't.
It was fine. It's whatever.
Brutal.
It's an election year. It's whatever it is. Dude, I don't know. I remember because it was part of my job in the past was creating stuff. So I remember like around sort of the second half of 2014 on through 2016, I began noticing a shift in a lot of media, like in terms of the movies, the TV shows, and things like that. Like I was like, oh, they're pushing a specific thing towards a specific. They didn't get this. The election did not turn out as they were hoping in 2016. But I remember being like, oh, they are pushing for a specific thing, and the way things are being presented to us in our TV commercials, in our shows, in our movies. So yeah, it's one of those things I'm always aware of. Like it's always interesting to note where stuff is going into an election. You're like, oh, an election must be coming up. We're getting a hard shift in things. So, there's nothing original anymore. I can't do it, man. There's no money in originality.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
true. Horrible.
There's no money, man.
There's no money in it whatsoever. They want to remake Jaws. They want to remake The Godfather.
What? How can they remake Jaws?
I don't know. They want to do it.
Imagine a CGI Jaws.
No, that's the point. That's why the movie was so good because of the shark.
Yeah,
You know, they just
you
don't.
can't CGI Jaws.
No, they fuck it up, and it's just you can't do it. Just leave shit alone.
I mean,
You know?
just make
Oh,
new.
now, I don't know if there's any truth to this,
Yes.
but supposedly David Chase is working on another series. It's called Soprano.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Single.
it's with the kid, the Gandolfini's
Oh.
son. Gandolfini's son's going to actually play him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's truth to that or what. So, like when he was older, coming up on the Jackie Jr. I mean, like on the Jackie appeal and everything. So we'll see.
They're like, oh, we got a Godfather 2 this.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a
Exactly.
Godfather 2 this thing.
People just
No,
I'm telling you, people just can't leave well enough alone.
Yeah.
It's like okay, it's like I'm excited for this. I really am. But at the same time, I have bated breath. The alien Romulus.
Oh yeah, I did see the trailer for that. I did see the
I'm
trailer.
like, okay, I'm gonna hold my breath, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe it shouldn't.
Aim high, shoot low, because I think there's a 60-40 chance it's going to suck.
Yeah, but I like Fede Alvarez has made good movies. I mean, I didn't think the Evil Dead remake was bad. It's not a bad movie.
It is a piece of shit. It is a burning piece of shit. But
What's that?
The Evil Dead remake. Oh my god! I didn't see the other one. I know they made another remake, right? James, they made
Evil Dead Rises. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Evil
see
Dead
that.
Rises is pretty good too. But
I mean, the second Prometheus movie is just beyond terrible.
The Alien Covenant, yeah, it's tough.
I'd take your expectations and I'd put them low. So this way, whatever happens will probably rise above your expectations.
That trailer for Romulus looks pretty good, but again, it's a trailer. So
yeah, I mean,
but what I saw, it looked like some of it's just kind of slapped together, and it's like some of the stuff from like Covenant and shit.
Well, it's supposed to take place in between the first two movies.
What?
In between Alien and Aliens. In between Alien and Aliens.
Whatever.
It's IP for them to make money off of.
Yeah.
It's content.
Yeah, but it's like they can't leave well enough alone. They should just leave it alone. Leave it alone. You fucked up stuff. I understand. I understand Disney paid $1 gazillion for the IP of Star Wars, and you got to get your money back. But leave it the fuck alone. All you got to do is make a billion videos, put it on Disney Channel, put animation, do all that shit all day long. Don't make movies. Leave it alone. Don't retcon shit. Leave it alone.
You want to know what Disney could do to make a ton of money with Star Wars? Put out a Blu-ray set of the original trilogy as it originally was, the theatrical version.
Yes.
People would be spending so much money on that.
Digital. I would be one of them. But like Adobe Digital 7.1, the whole schmear.
Give us the Star Wars that we used to know. Give it back to us. But it's not going to happen.
There was it took a lot of time in between the trilogies. Between the first and the second trilogy, it was a long point of time. And as we know now, it's like if if George hadn't gone back to remaster the original 3 when he did, those masters would have been were about to be beyond repair.
Right.
So that it's just the things that made it special, like the time, the time in between, the anticipation, new characters, different things, but this
Yeah, new characters like Jar Jar Binks.
yeah, that was terrible, obviously.
Oh,
So was Watto. Watto was terrible.
Oh, Walter was horrible.
oh God! But you mentioned Jar Jar Binks. That reminds me. So for years there was a fan theory that Jar Jar Binks was originally going to be a Sith.
That's not a theory. That's a fact. It didn't play. It didn't play well with the audiences.
Right. Well, they have
the test people. I don't think they made it to that point, but
they have like a Lego animated movie coming out of this like alternate thing of Jar Jar Binks as a Sith. Like this is a Lego animated movie coming out.
Nice.
It's from Disney. I mean, it's from the Star Wars people, but they're gonna mess with that alternate theory of Jar Jar Binks as a Sith. But it's Lego, of course. It's Lego animation, so it's not
This
canon.
is what happens. This is what happens when a company becomes too greedy. They brought up Marvel, they brought up Star Wars, and they put out a bunch of shit. And now they're losing money because of it. That's it.
Hey, let's not forget, they also got the Muppets, and then they made like Miss Piggy be like this like promiscuous thing on a TV
They
show.
fucked up Pirates of the Caribbean.
Like, can you imagine taking the Muppets and being like, I'm gonna make them sexual?
Yeah, they fucked that up.
I'm gonna.
They killed Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, they're constantly shooting themselves in the foot.
well, they're just determined to destroy these things that other people have created. I don't know why. I mean, that's part of the problem when other people acquire things that they had no.
Yeah, but they fucked up their own IP, Zeus. They fucked up Snow White.
Yeah, this sounds like a good point for us to
To have that on?
things off. So we won't be here next week. I can't make the show next week. But but you know what? An early happy birthday to James Sorno.
Oh, thank you.
His birthday's coming up on is it Tuesday or
No, Monday.
Monday. Okay, I can't
I'll
count.
be celebrating with pizza and mass quantities of hops and barley.
Are you going down to ruin Del Boca Vista again?
No. Look at the poor fucking guy break. He's got to. It's bad enough he got to deal with Forbidden Door. So.
Oh yeah, that's coming up the end of the month, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should protect his Forbidden Door.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna keep it low key. Have some pizza, drink a few beers, chill, and then maybe I'll watch Raw. Why not?
Zeus, you got anything going on this week?
Nothing good. Just trying to get through it all.
Your book is out, or no, it's not out, but
The children's book is done, and so we should be getting the other two sizes in next week. Should be like Monday or Tuesday. We should be getting those two. So maybe in the next episode I'll ask if I can show the book.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
So yeah, God willing, we'll be back on the 22nd.
22nd.
I
know, James, you got some medical stuff coming up in July, right?
Yeah, I got a shitload of shit. Fun times.
So
Fun times.
Great oldies.
We'll try to touch base before all that happens. But everyone take care. Have a great Father's Day weekend next weekend. James, have a great birthday.
Thank you so much.
And I'll be back to music streaming this week on Twitch. So you can and you can also listen to me anywhere. Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, blah blah blah.
Places you've never even heard of.
On Tommy, a streaming service in the Middle East. You can find me on there.
You can find all the links at the Prudential Halftime Report.
We'll see y'all next time. Adios.
Later.